Come on. Stop cussing. Yeah. See, the children was once raised by a village. The elders fell asleep, so the future lost in sinners. Took under the wing by gimmicks and false image, but we bringing them back. Folks is the business from here to finish. No guidance, no growth, no strength, no power, no success, no question about it. Returning to essence without view of discretion. Love is the message that we bring from the watchtower. StopCussin.com, coming to get down. Tonya E, a.k.a. Miss Right Now. Prince Pope, legendary, organized confusion. Nasty habits, entertainment, keeping it moving with Stop Cussin. Stop Cussin. Stop Cussin. Give me shorty. Stop Cussin. Let me holler at you. Stop Cussin. Nah. Stop Cussin. We don't do that, folks. Stop Cussin. Yeah. What? Stop Cussin. Nah. Stop Cussin. Stop Cussin. Tonya E.
Think, stack, grow, build, read, plant, sow, feel, teach, facts, show, skill, real talk, you know the deal. Respect your elders, respect yourself, respect your body, respect your health, feed your mind cause it's always hungry. Watch your mouth, don't be a crash test dummy. Get that money, get your brains right, put some work in, keep your game tight. Stop the dissing and dozens, fighting and fussing. Quit tripping, stop cussing. Think, stack, grow, build, read, plant, sow, feel.
What in the world, family? We are having some technical difficulties. I guess that was me up here trying to do the DJing situation. Welcome back, family, to part 2. This is your host, Tonya E, a.k.a. Miss Right Now. You are listening to Women of God and Sisters of Testimonies. Our whole introduction was a little off this morning, but thank God we are here. We are back. Family, want to apologize for yesterday. We learned a lot yesterday, being away from BTR and not realizing that our little 15 minutes grace time off air was not granted, kind of like cut us off when we was about to get into it. So we are blessed and honored again to have our special feature guest from yesterday come back with us to share his words again with us today. And if you didn't catch yesterday, part 1, you need to. So let's get right back into where we left off yesterday. And as we were with our special feature guest, Mr. David Marquis of White Tea Men's Fragrance, was about to answer my question, which the question was, what would he say to a young man looking at him where he stands today, as well as one of his peers that's trying to make it through or find his way right now? What would his words be? And with that being said, family, let's welcome back our special featured guest, Mr. David Marquis. Thank you so much for being with us again. Are you there?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. And you know what? I'm going to leave the DJing alone because that wasn't working.
It's all right. It's okay.
I'm going to say that, but I also want to make mention, too, because that's those 2 anthems are our Stop Cussin campaign, and the first one is by legendary Prince Poe of Organized Confusion, and a good friend of mine. He's also known in the industry by Chef Word. So thank those brothers for, the support that they have given me in our campaign through the years thus far. So I always got to give a shout out. So now, brother, the microphone back to you. Let us know what was about to be fire yesterday before we got cut off.
Now, what I would tell, any young man or any person, period, from my experiences, is just try to be well-rounded. You know what I mean? Just try not to be able to be left out of a conversation no matter where you are. In other words, you should be able to converse with people on this level, that level, this level, no matter what. Because all those experiences you need to make you a complete person. So it's just a lot of knowing when to be quiet and listen, and observe. So just observe and be able to just observe and not run with somebody else and follow what they're doing, because they might not know what they're doing. So try to find your own way, because what works for one person doesn't exactly work for the next person.
Right. Well, you know what, Marquis, family, as I told you all, I know Mr. David Marquis as Marquis, so I'm not disrespecting him. You know, we go way back. Y'all should see the picture. Marquis, what I find, too, is that actually I ran across this article this morning. Let's just touch on this real quick. It's with things that you just said about finding your ownness, finding you. They have, Rutgers University is now putting together a course called the Beyonce course or something to that effect, to teach students, college students, whatever it is that Beyonce have that no one else has, in order to give them the blueprint for their toolbox to life. I found that very much distasteful, very much sickening to me. This is my opinion, as me being a parent of a soon-to-be 15-year-old young man. Mm-hmm. What are we doing? Like, why these role models that we constantly have in front of our children are more special than the ones that we have right in our own homes? What do you think is the ingredient that they're given today in this culture that we live in, opposed to the hip-hop culture we grew up with?
Well, the thing about it, when we grew up, it was about the love of the art. No matter what you do, master your craft, no matter what you do. And if you're into something, you know, money could be your drive or whatever. But what happens when you get money? Are you still going to be hungry? You know, so you should have the love for whatever you're doing to be able to do it for free because it's your passion. Now, like Beyonce, you know, not to put anything like that, but that's a one-dimensional way of thinking. I mean, you have black scientists, doctors, you know, so many role models besides rappers and singers, you know, so you're putting people on a place where you know only 1 in 20 million going to get there on that type of level where they are, you know, but if you can learn the business sense from it or whatever you can get out of it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's not about just, you know, well, black people, they sing, dance, entertain. You know,
and that's what I feel. Right. I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's why I feel that we keep allowing the wrong news and the wrong information to be seeped into the ears and the eyes of our children. And parents today, to me, are not being parents. This is from my perspective. This is Tonya E talking, family. From my perspective, what I see when I go talk to these young kids and look in their eyes, and they looking at me like I'm a star, have been asked, are you a celebrity? I'm like, I am just like you. I celebrate your greatness. So that's why it's so important for us to let our children know. We look at each other and we are to be inspired, like I said yesterday, to inspire each other, but not to be like. But how do we get these young people to understand the difference of being inspired than instead of wanting to be just like that person because of what the image they are portraying?
Well, a lot of it has to do with watching and observing people. Now, first of all, if you're a parent and you're listening to the same music, especially this day and age, your kids are listening to it and not, turn them on to something a little more higher level. First of all, if you're 35 or 40 years old and you listen to music of a 12 or 13-year-old, there's a problem. Okay, so it's like in other words, like the hip hop or whatever now. It's like as if I were to go back and read Dick and Jane books. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? So you have to, elevate. I'm not going to dumb down. You just got to come up. You know what I mean? You have to come up. It's not about dumbing down the kids, making it easier for them. You give an analogy. I mean, anyone can do anything if you give them the right analogy for them to understand it. You know?
That's right. That's
what I feel. Just to write. If that person's a carpenter, he can. I watch a carpenter, electrician, a janitor. You can watch him. He can show you something you don't know about something that can help you in the long run. You know what I mean? So It's about absorbing everything. I mean, everything around you. I mean, every little thing. That's how people create, because you just don't look at everything at face value. Everything you see around you had to be created by someone.
Right.
You know what I mean? It had to be created by. I mean, the simplest thing. No matter what you see, someone had to create it. And people, a lot of people probably say you're crazy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of opposition, and You have to venture out there, not to be, a duck and walk in the same path of the next person and follow that person. And, oh, he got this. Oh, that's the new thing. Because all those new things get old real quick.
Right. You're right. And I think that's where I'm going to say culture, because unfortunately it seemed to be a whole lot of different cultures roaming this sick world we live in. And this is, again, when I'm talking from my perspective, that too many followers, and they following the wrong peoples and the wrong things for the wrong reasons. There's no morals, values, respect like we had before. And I just want to touch base on back from yesterday, too, that you said that you was born and raised in the South Bronx. Tell again, because a lot of times, we look at a person to where you are today with white tea fragrance. We're going to get back into that for a little bit before we get off here, just saying. From the roads that you had to travel, the pavement that your footprints had to stomp on. Being born and raised in the South Bronx wasn't an easy time at that time, but like you said yesterday, we had a community, we had a neighborhood, not a hood. Just touch on that too, for our listeners, to let them know again that we cannot forget where we came from, but we have to better the places that we may have left to go back to give that lending hand. Even when we feel we have succeeded, we have not succeeded. We succeeded to some degree, that we can still go back to help those that are left behind.
And it's about being an example, but by leading by example. Like a lot of times, young guys, they see me, I wear a suit to work every day. I'm a fly guy, I'm cool, GQ.
You fly guy.
That's I dreamed of being that way since I was a kid. This shit didn't come yesterday. I was 10 years old, looking at brother would cut things out of magazine. Knew we couldn't afford it, but you know what? It inspired me to have style. To have style, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So you always have to be sharp, on point, because people are watching. And a lot of times people come up to me, and say, are you a preacher, or are you, another guy say, are you in the FBI? In other words, they don't see brothers in suits unless they're a preacher or a cop.
That's true.
That was
unfortunate,
crazy.
Sad, but it's true.
That was crazy. I couldn't comprehend that. I'm like, what?
Right. Well, then again, to comprehending is because this is the images that they constantly seeing our brothers in, and we have grown men close to 60 wearing clothes like they're still in their 20s. So there's, again, like you said, there's like the children and parents listen to the same music. There's no point of this is grown folk stuff, this is kids. Everybody seems to be listening to the same stuff. Like when we were raised, our mom and them sent us to the back room when they was listening to Millie Jackson and Teddy Pendergrass and all that. And now as we have become of age, we can appreciate that music because that was good music. But what do our children have to listen to considered as good music today in the culture? And again, I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just speaking the truth. Whether you like it or not, you can accept it or don't take it. It's not my call, and I don't care. I'm caring for our kids.
It's not because but and another thing, think about the music, like I said, when I listen to, Motown, this and that. Now, when I listen to it now, it's so, that music we listened to was so complex for 8, 9, 10 years we listened to. It's complex. The vocabulary, the instrumentation, the whole, everything about it was complex for a kid. So, therefore, if you're listening to that at 8, 9, 10, 11, you can't go backwards. The other stuff is simple. So what happens is, if you start out listening to really, simple things or whatever situation, then it's going to be harder for you to go to a complex situation. You know what I mean? But if you already, get the complexity of certain situations, you can't even accept. You have to have a barometer. Like we have a lot of empty slogans. Ain't no shame in my game, and there better be some damn shame. That's the problem.
Right,
you have to have shame. You have to have pride. You just can't. You talk. It's all good. No, it's not all good. That's just an excuse.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to have some shame, some pride. And
I don't think
we're
really taking tune. I don't really think we're speaking airs like back in the days. It saddens me again. I'm saddened a lot, but then thank God I know who He is to keep me going. To understand that back in the days, word was bond. And when people said they was going to do something, they did it. Today, people just say things and don't have no responsibilities or held accountable for what comes out of their mouth, because we easily forget, oh, that's just such and such, oh, that's them. No, we need to start telling them, no, you got to stop this, because it's a repeating pattern and it's making our situation worse.
Great point, and a great example, because one thing that as I've gotten older, like in other words, one thing about me, I'm a stickler for time. And if you say we're going to be here at 3, be there at 3. If there's a problem that you're going to be a little late, call me 15, 20 minutes before time. The situation is that when you disrespect a person's time, you have to think about that. You're saying, like, what are you disrespecting me? If you just lollygag and just come at whatever, no, it's unacceptable. So you have to understand, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do this, then I can't respect you anymore, because, I mean, I'll give you I let people hang themselves, really. Right. You know what I mean? I don't, I give you an opportunity to this, I might put a bug in your ear, and then after that, I can't want something more than you for yourself.
That's the
truth.
That's the truth. That is so true.
So, like people say, CP time. I've never heard that until I got older. CP, color people time, and laugh. That's not funny.
We laugh, and you're right. We laugh, but it's not funny, because it seems that it's an okay, and it has been accepted for far too long. The itis and all that type of. It's not has nothing about getting sleep about the itis. If you eat any heavy food, you're gonna get tired. That's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? We eat heavy. Like our diet, it's kind of heavy, so you get tired. Your stomach has to work extra hard. See, the science, you have to know the science of, but you sitting there going, I got the itis. I mean, you're putting yourself down. You don't even realize how much you're putting yourself down. And because things been said before, doesn't mean you don't have to break the mold.
Right,
you know what I mean?
The tradition, I speak a lot about that. We have a lot of bad traditions we have continued to spill over into our generation, to our children's generation. But, again, I'm thankful that I understand and have been fighting with family, so-called friends, had to let go. Again, I am not that person. That's probably why, too, a lot of people have been misunderstood for so long. But today I understand that when I'm called crazy, I'm good crazy, because I know my purpose of what I'm doing. So, again, it's not about me. And the walks that I've walked has nothing to do with me. And as I look back on my past, I understand how God was in the midst of me through everything, even when I was cussing like a sailor, as I posted.
I mean, we all pretty touchy, Come on. That's how you learn.
Exactly, and get to not trying to wear a mask. We have to take the mask off, people, and understand that we all have issues. Not one of us are exempt from issues and have done things we may not have been proud of and did things that we didn't know what we was getting into, but when we got there, we did it. We have to understand that we make errors, tell our children the errors that we made so that they won't they won't repeat the errors, and don't have shame in telling. This is how we become better us.
Mm-hmm. And like, yes. I mean, and the point being, I mean, like my wife would tell me, okay. I'm like, because I get into it. Like, it really bothers me, little certain things. I'm like, she's like, she'll be like, you're making a big deal. I said, it is a big deal, because it's how ghetto becomes ghetto. It's when one day there's a broken window, right? Mm-hmm. No one fixes that window. Okay, then there's trash. No one picks up the trash. So after a while, you're walking by, so it's just you don't care, nobody cares, Yeah. And one more thing I want to say about the whole following thing, it's so crazy to me when you have 3 or 4 people, young kids, like out of 3 or 4 or 5 of y'all, not one of y'all say, you know what, that might not be a smart thing to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. They just like go along with it.
Well, you said, like you said earlier, rolling up the ducks, everybody following, instead of one standing up, because basically that person do not want to feel like the outcast or do not want to be hated on and whatever. But who's going to be the leaders? Right. Who's going to be the leaders? Our kids are yearning for attention and affection, and just that we have grown folks our age still waiting for somebody to say, I'm sorry, and blaming somebody else for why they are where they are. And I'm talking real truth, and happening just last night, talking to my family members. And it's like, again, I didn't turn out like that. I could be blaming my mama and my daddy. Stop putting the blame on them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So there's no excuses to if your life, once you become of age and understand the difference, you got to walk away and start cutting away those traditions. So, again, by us talking, hoping we can, like, build each other up and stop tearing each other down. And as soon as somebody talk right stuff, they like, oh, you know, you just trying to be like the preaching. You know what? Then how in the heck we going to reach each other?
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. So look at here. Brother Marquis, before we get to really getting into that, because we're going to have to bring you back again, let our listeners know, again, about your men's fragrance, the white tea.
Okay, it's a men's. It's one of my ventures I had through life. You know what I mean? You know, we all have different things that we try and do it and accomplish. You really accomplish when you already tried. So it's an accomplishment because you attempted. Okay, so therefore that's another great example. What you're saying. When I put the white tea together, you know, fragrant, people were like, you know, and I was like the prices to do it, and it was outstanding to try to do it. So I figured out a way to do it where I can make it affordable to everyone, without me trying to get everybody. You know, it's not about me trying to make a big buck. It's about making it affordable, and then also at the same time making it just as good or better, and giving you a reason. Give me a reason why you wouldn't buy this. You can't, because it smells just as good or better than things you're buying, and it's half as expensive. So the point being, another thing. So I had to do it on my. I learned after a while I had to do things on my own, because a lot of times what we do sometimes is we put stuff like, I'm depending on this person to do this and do that. So subliminally in our mind we say, well, if it doesn't happen, I could blame him.
The blame game again, huh?
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you know, that way if you take care of it, you have no one to blame but yourself. You know what I mean? So it's your intensity and your passion. So like thewhitetea.com is the fragrance, and it's all a process. It's all a process. You know, so it's all about, you know, just building a good rapport, and then just slowly, you know, moving. And it's not about trying to blow up, you know, day 1, 2 years, 3 years. It takes time to do things, because if you try to run out and do things and just get that quick buck, it doesn't last. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Right.
You know?
Tell the truth. We want our men to smell good. And again, like I told you yesterday, I thank you so much for being part of the team of making our men smell good, because Lord knows I've missed those days where you just walk wherever and a fine man could be standing there, and all you have to do is just walk past him. And I'm doing a commercial right now. Walk past him and smell and be like, dang.
You know, you feel better about yourself. And one more thing before I forget, and in the future I'm gonna do a white tea junior, right? Now, but this is gonna be like a little package for younger males mostly, but it's just really cleaning, taking care of yourself, showing them how to brush their teeth, showing them how to. Because once you get a little older, and you got a boy, he don't want the mom looking at him.
You're right, I have one.
You know what I'm saying? They come to town like, come on, Uncle, you know. So if there's no man around, there's no one really teaching them how to do certain things, and the pride won't ask, because like a lot of times the kids, young guys now, they'll rather walk around acting like they know, not knowing, and walk around, let's say, never knowing, because they think not knowing something is weak. You know what I mean? Please, let me tell you something. That's how I would look up to the older guys and listen, and absorb and listen. And that's why the music was so incredible. Like, it taught you lessons.
And it's our elders. We were taught, the truth be the truth. How are we supposed to become wiser if we don't sit down and listen to our elders? And unfortunately, we don't have that same setup that we had growing up. And that's why I speak so much and try to enforce it, because this is the truth. Our children will not know how to live if no one is showing them. Too many children are being left to raise themselves, and then as soon as our young girls become developed, they thinking they're grown and they pimping, because we got sick men just looking at them because they got sick ways. And you got sick women, too, looking at our young boys because they feel like, you know what, I can control him, I can mold him. I wish one would come near mine. I'm always on guard. Let it be known. I'm always on guard. Walking in the mall with my son and I see the eyes glazing. Step to him if you want to. Real talk.
And you know what? Another thing, if you're a woman and you're walking with a guy who doesn't look decent, what does that say about you?
Say that one. We see that all. Okay, we see that all the time, and that's going to be another show. We're going to have to bring you back, Marquis, Mr. David Marquis, to enlighten our listeners again upon the reasons why they should buy white tea for their men in their lives, whether it be their fathers, their husbands, soon to be, their boyfriends, soon to be husbands, just as a gift. Just as if you want the men in your office to smell good, just give them as a gift. And to find out information about that family, go to, what's the website, Marquis?
TheWhiteTea.com. TheWhiteTea.com.
TheWhiteTea.com, and that's spelled? TheWhiteTea.com. Okay, and they also can find you on Facebook, you said, at what?
David Marquis or White Tea Fragrance.
Okay. Family, listen, Dave Marquis, my brother, appreciate you so much. And, again, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and also Mrs. Marquis for allowing you to break bread with us on Saturday, being at his family day. So I want to give much respect to her just the same for standing by your side. And it's showing. So I appreciate the both of you for being the team that you all are. And we're going to bring you back on another time. And in the midst of that, family, you know what you need to do. You need to go to the website. And that's www.theTHEYTET.com. I have to try to spell it out. Shut up.
And Mrs. Marquis has to be a tough one.
To deal with you. Look at here. I know. Look. That's why I said power to you, sister. God bless you. Much love and respect. But you got a beautiful man. You got a powerful man. And thank God that you took him. Because being in the wilderness that we was rolling, it's not that many can stand strong to accept the creative person that we are, and you are definitely that, man. And
Thank you so much, Tonya. I appreciate it, and we will stay in touch. This is just the first. This is just the beginning.
Exactly. So I'll be on board with whitetea.com. So y'all don't get it twisted if I come to your barbershop or your beauty shops here in NC or wherever let me not put that out like that. Yeah, NC. That's right. NC. That's right. That's how we do. Family, you've been listening to Women of God and Sisters of Testimonies. I'm your host, Tonya E, a.k.a. Miss Right Now. You have been listening also to our special featured guest, CEO and founder of White Tea men's fragrance, Mr. David Marquis, and we appreciate you all for sharing your time and being with us. And be sure to pass the word on, because we're about to do some major things for 2012 as we continue to spread the truth and the word, because if it wasn't for God, there would be no us, and that's what I forgot to do. God, forgive me for not giving Thanksgiving at the beginning of the show. We cannot be who we are without our Trinity team. That's our Heavenly Father, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and our signed Holy Spirit family. Again, it's not about you. It's about us. So let's join together hand in hand and make that me into a we. How about that?
I like that.
All right, now, family, we're about to tune out. Until next time, if it's in God's will, we will see you all another given day. And I'm going to take us out of here with our two Stop Cussin Anthem. Again, much respect to Prince Poe and also Chef Word for looking out and supporting us in our cause. Family, you all have a blessed, filled, and winning weekend. Until next time, love you all. Peace.
Yeah. Stop class. Come on. Stop class. Yeah. See, the children was once raised by a village. The elders fell asleep, so the future lost in sinners. Took under the wing by gimmicks and false image, but we bringing them back. Folks is the business from here to finish. No guidance, no growth, no strength, no power, no success, no question about it. Returning to essence without view of discretion. Love is the message that we bring from the watchtower. StopCussin.com, coming to get down. Tonya E, a.k.a. Miss Right Now. Prince Poe, legendary, organized confusion. Nasty habits, entertainment, keeping it moving with Stop Cussin. Stop Cussin. Stop Cussin. Come here, shorty. Stop Cussin. Let me holler at you. Stop Cussin. Nah. Stop Cussin. We don't do that, folks. Stop Cussin. Yeah. What? Stop Cussin. Nah. Stop Cussin. Stop Cussin. Tonya E.
facts, show, skill, real talk, you know the deal. Respect your elders, respect yourself, respect your body, respect your health, feed your mind cause it's always hungry. Watch your mouth, don't be a crash test dummy. Get that money, get your brains right, put some work in, keep your game tight. Stop the distant and dozens fighting and fussing, quit tripping, stop cussing. Think, stack, grow, build, read, plant, sow, feel, teach, facts, show, skills, real talk, you know the deal.
And I approve this message.